Hello, true believers, it's me, the guy who doodles for a living. You probably know my show, The Simpsons. It's about a funny yellow family in a town called Springfield. We have Homer, who loves donuts. There's Marge, with her tall blue hair. We have Bart, the troublemaker. Lisa is the smart one, and Maggie is the baby. For many, many years, people have watched our show. They laugh at the jokes and the silly things that happen. But some people think we do more than just make jokes. They think we can see the future. This idea has become very popular all over the world. People see something happen in the real world. Then they remember seeing something just like it on The Simpsons years before. It happens so often that it feels a little strange. It's like our writers have a secret crystal ball hidden somewhere in their office. They write a story about something crazy and then, boom, it happens in real life. It has made people wonder if Springfield is more than just a cartoon town. Maybe it is a special window into what is coming next. Our show has been on television for a very long time, since 1989. That's a lot of episodes. We have told hundreds and hundreds of stories over the years. We have made jokes about everything you can think of. We've talked about politics, technology, sports, and famous people. When you make that many jokes for that many years, some of them are bound to look like you knew what was going to happen. It's like throwing a lot of darts at a wall. Sooner or later, you are going to hit the bullseye, even if you are just guessing. But still, the number of times we got it right is pretty amazing. It makes you scratch your head. Some of our predictions are so specific and so close to what really happened later on. It's not just a small guess, it's the whole situation. This has given our show a reputation for being more than just a cartoon. It's become a fun game for fans to watch an old episode and see what future events we might have accidentally stumbled upon. It's a strange and funny legacy for a show about a silly family. So, what does it mean to predict something on a TV show? A prediction is like a guess about what will happen in the future. In our show, we don't really try to be serious fortune tellers. Our main goal is to make you laugh. We create stories that are funny and sometimes a little bit crazy. The writers think about what is happening in the world right now, then they imagine what funny things could happen because of it. They try to make a joke about what society might look like in a few years if things keep going in a certain direction. Making these predictions is part of the comedy. We take something that is real, like a new piece of technology or a political situation, and we stretch it. We make it bigger and sillier for the sake of a good joke. For example, if a new phone comes out, we might make a joke about a future phone that does something totally ridiculous. It's not because we have a secret message from the future, it's because we are looking at the world around us and asking, what's the funniest possible outcome of this? We are satirists, which is a fancy word for people who make fun of things. Think of it like this. If you see someone building a very tall tower of blocks, you might joke, that's going to fall over. If it does fall over a minute later, did you predict the future? Or did you just make a good guess based on what you saw? That is what our writers do. They are very smart people who read a lot and know a lot about culture, science, and politics. They see the tall towers of blocks being built in our world, and they write a funny story about them falling down. Sometimes those towers really do fall down in real life, so when we talk about a Simpsons prediction, we are usually talking about a coincidence. It's a moment where one of our jokes from the past lines up perfectly with a real event that happens later. It's a funny accident. The writers weren't trying to be prophets or wizards, they were just trying to write the best and funniest show they could. The fact that some of their jokes became real is just the icing on the donut, so to speak. It adds another layer of fun to watching the show, looking for those strange connections between our cartoon world and yours. Let's talk about some of our most famous guesses. One big one is about President Donald Trump. Way back in the year 2000, we had an episode called Bart to the Future. In that story, Lisa becomes the President of the United States. She is in the big office, the Oval Office, talking to her staff. She says something like, "As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump." This was a joke. At the time, the idea of the famous businessman becoming president was just a funny thought for a cartoon. It seemed so unlikely. Then, fast forward to 2016. The real Donald Trump was elected as the 45th President of the United States. Suddenly, our little joke from 16 years earlier didn't seem so silly anymore. It was real. The show even had a scene of Trump waving to crowds on an escalator that looked almost exactly like a scene from his real-life campaign announcement. People were amazed. How could we have guessed that? The writer of that episode said they chose Trump because he seemed like a funny celebrity to be president. It was meant to be a warning about America going a little crazy. Another famous prediction involves new technology. In a 1994 episode, one of the school bullies is using a device that looks a lot like an early Apple product. He tries to write a memo that says "beat up Martin," but the device changes it to "Eat Up Martha." This was a joke about bad autocorrect technology. At that time, nobody had smartphones with autocorrect that made funny mistakes. The technology didn't really exist for most people. It was just a clever idea from the writers about what future gadgets might be like. Years later, anyone who has ever sent a text message knows the pain of autocorrect. We've all tried to type one thing, only for our phones to change it to something completely different and embarrassing. The joke from our show became a daily experience for millions of people around the world. We didn't have a secret look at the first iPhone. The writers simply thought about how a helpful new technology could go wrong in a funny way. They were just good at imagining the future of small, everyday problems. So, what is the real secret? Are the writers of The Simpsons psychic? Do they have a time machine parked behind the studio? The simple answer is probably no. The most likely explanation is a mix of a few things. First, as I said, our show has been on for a very, very long time. We have made thousands and thousands of jokes. The laws of probability say that if you make enough guesses about the future, some of them are bound to come true just by pure chance. It's like flipping a coin 1,000 times. You're going to get heads a lot. Second, our writers are not just joke machines. They are smart, well-educated people who pay close attention to the world. They read books, follow the news, and study trends in society. When they write about the future, they are making educated guesses based on what they see happening. They see the small seeds of an idea in the present and imagine how that seed might grow into a big, funny tree in the future. Their job is to be observant, so many predictions are not magic. They are the result of smart people thinking logically about where things are headed. Think about it this way. The show often makes fun of human nature. We joke about politicians being greedy or big companies trying to sell us silly things. These are not new ideas. These are things that have been happening for centuries. So when we make a joke about a greedy politician, and then a real politician does something greedy, it's not a prediction. It's just a reflection of how people sometimes behave. The show is a mirror of society, and sometimes society continues to act in the same predictable, silly ways. In the end, it's mostly for fun. Believing that The Simpsons can predict the future is a fun game. It makes watching old episodes feel like a treasure hunt. But we shouldn't take it too seriously. The show is a comedy, designed to make you laugh and think a little. The fact that some of our jokes accidentally came true is just a happy, strange coincidence. It's a testament to our clever writers and the simple fact that if you stay on the air long enough, life will eventually start to imitate your art. DOH.